11 o'clock. This is the Common Council meeting to be held in the Common Council Chambers, Room 100 of the Greenfield City Hall on Tuesday, February 6, 2024 at 7 p.m. The meeting is called to order. Would you please call the roll?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Present.
Alderperson Bailey.
Present.
Alderperson Kastner.
Present.
Alderperson Akers.
Present.
Alderperson Sarian.
Present.
Item 2, or B, is opening prayer. We have Deacon Leggett here to lead us in prayer.
Good evening. And we pause for prayer. Loving Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening asking for your blessings and help as we are all gathered together on this most beautiful winter day. We pray for your guidance on this common council, that the matters before them will be conducted in a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Heavenly Father, in a special way we pray for peace in our world. With so much unrest, we pray for a peaceful solution that will be acceptable by all. We also pray for our first responders who watch over us each and every day, along with our nation's military. And lastly, dear Lord, we pray for the well-being of all of our citizens, that they be kept safe. We pray this to you, who are our Lord and God forever. Amen.
And item C is the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please join me as we give it? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, moving along. Item D, I'd entertain a motion to approve the January 16th, 2024 Common Council minutes.
Motion for approval.
By Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Akers, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Just a couple mayor's report updates. With regard to Spring Mall, Mandel, who was chosen by you folks with the RFP for Spring Mall, is moving along at a great pace. They're doing environmental investigation over there. They've been a real pleasure to work with. Everything's been timely. Everything's been very forthright. And they look like they're going to be a great partner.
Do you know if they've met with Myers yet?
I know that they have actively been involved in all of the adjacent properties that have an interest or that you may have an interest in.
Yep. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't speak on their behalf, but I think they've reached out to them.
Okay.
And there's been a cooperative relationship going, or good, positive communications.
I know with some of the neighbors I've spoken
There were a
with.
couple other properties that are immediately adjacent to that we've always had concerns with or thought maybe should be included, and I think they've reached out to those as well.
Yep, I've heard confirmation of that. I just didn't know if they reached out to Myers yet.
But I don't want to speak.
That goes both ways with Myers. You think they'd want to reach out to the new landlord?
Well, yeah, I don't, well, it's not a new landlord
I-
yet.
I think there's been good interaction between all parties associated with the redevelopment of Spring Mall.
I'm hoping so.
Me too. Another thing I wanted to point out, and Jeff can give me the date on this, we've been working on a turf benefit and kickoff event at Congo Park in June.
June 15th.
June 15th, I'd ask you to mark that on your calendar. We've already received, and I don't want to make these announcements yet until they're from who, but this is going to be a music, skateboarding, and BMX kind of event that's going to be happening at the park. We received recently a pretty significant donation to sponsor some BMX folks there. There's a gentleman that lives in our city who's involved in music promotion and buying and running music events. He's taken a strong interest in it and has hooked up the city and Travis and McCaleb and Parks with some really good local musicians for the event, upwards of 10, it sounds like.
Yeah, and he's done that on a volunteer basis, helped
On a
out the
volunteer
Parks
basis, yeah,
Department.
he's hooking us up with all the right people. I think he's probably in his 50s now, but he was one of the younger kids at the turf and skated there as a child, and he's really excited about it. We reached out we had recently a call with a national beverage company, which I won't name yet, that is actively involved in skateboarding nationally. They've taken an interest in providing some of their glam, I don't know if that's the right word, to this event. So it's all coming together very nicely. I know it's months and months away, but it has the opportunity to be a really, really great event, one that will be memorable for many. Just a couple other things before we get to Joe, who gets paid a flat fee, not hourly, so we can talk as long as we want to before he gets up to speak. And
Last on the agenda then?
yeah, I was going to move that back a little bit for him, right? So talked briefly with Jeff today, the Conkle Park shelter on the southwest portion over by Heritage, that's in the bidding process now. We did receive the community block grant dollar kicker, which was nice for that. The road projects, including the road near the Heritage, is it the Heritage? It's the Heritage, right?
Yeah, the Heritage Apartments, 55th Street
Yeah, it's 50.
and
I always forget
Carpenter
what street it is.
Avenue.
But, so that's all tied in there, as is a small adder for the paths on the southern end of the park, which were gravel last year. That's being done. So things are moving along really, really nice and quickly. Additionally, I want to just point out too that Moody's recently did our bond rating. We had our call with regard to the issues that are before us today. I think that went extremely well. Moody's reaffirmed our bond rating at AA2, which is essentially as high as we could possibly get, right? Unless we were Brookfield or Appleton or Madison. Some of the communities have a bigger tax base and they can be AAA, but so that's really good news. So without further ado, under Mayor's Report, I'd go to E1, which is a resolution awarding the sale of $11,340,000 taxable note, anticipation notes, Series 2024A. That's on, okay. And we have the former village manager from Greendale, Mr. Joe Murray.
Not that the mayor holds that against me at all.
I don't hold that again.
Good evening, I'm Joe Murray from Ellers. We are proud to be the city's financial advisor. The mayor already covered one of the lead-in topics I was going to have is your credit rating as part of the issuing of the two debt instruments this evening. We did get go back to Moody's and got your AA2 rating affirmed. As the mayor said, that's a very good rating for a community your size. You never say never, but it is difficult. It'll be very difficult to get up to a AA1. You would need to continue to expand your tax base, which you are doing a very good job of. You need to increase your income levels for residents in the city and continue your strong financial management and continue to build up your fund balance and other things. But you are very strong in your AA2, but I agree with the mayor. That's a very good spot to be. You shouldn't feel ashamed of it. A copy of the rating report is in both of the sale day reports that I handed out that were at your spaces this evening. Your first item on the agenda is the Series 2024A, the taxable note anticipation notes. These are the note anticipation notes, or the NANs that, if you recall, we've been talking about since last fall. These NANs will be to prepay two municipal revenue obligations and TID number 6. The reason they are being prepaid is so that the city can have a better, more consistent and committed, knowingly what the payments are going to be on an annual basis. Under the MROs right now, the city is paying back increment to the developer based on how much value that they are generating, so the number bounces up and down. But if you recall, when TID number 6 was recently amended, it was to make it a donor to TID number 8, so that TID number 8 can keep moving forward. So the revenue and the cash flow in TID number 6 is important to help support continuation of the development in TID number 8. On your agenda, the mayor noted that the original size was going to be for $11,340,000. It has shrunk down to $11,325,000. During the course of going through the process, the cost of issuance for a few of the fees came down, so we were able to reduce the size by $15,000. I am also pleased to let you know that Huntington Bank, who was the selected underwriter for this negotiated sale, did show that they were hungry, as I described them originally when they were selected. We had expected last evening in the pre-pricing call that the coupons for this issue was going to be around 5.05%. They came in final at 4.96% today. So they did come in. That is also almost 55 basis points better than it was included in the model for TID number 6. So what does that mean? That means that the lower interest rates is going to save about $305,000 in interest cost associated with the NANs from what we had projected. The other benefit, as I said, is the cash flow for TID 6 is helping support donations to TID 8. By doing this with the lower interest rates, the annual cash flow for the debt service is going to be about $60,000 a year less than what we had projected. So that helps shore up the income and the cash flow to TID number 6. So everything was good news all the way around. So we recommend that you award the sale of $11,325,000 in taxable note anticipation notes, Series 2024A, to Huntington Bank at the coupon interest rate of 4.96%. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Anybody got anything? I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution awarding the sale as provided for the taxable note anticipation note Series 2024A in the amount of $11,325,000.
I will make that motion.
Motion by Alderperson Akers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Kastner. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
I'd entertain a motion to reconsider.
Motion to reconsider?
Motion by Alderperson Akers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Kastner. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. I'd entertain a motion to reaffirm.
Motion to reaffirm.
By Alderperson Kastner. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Drzwicki. All in favor? Wait, do we
Aye.
have to call that?
I can.
Call it. We'll just call it.
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers,
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Okay. Item 11E2 is a resolution awarding the sale of $4,085,000 general obligation corporate purpose bonds, Series 2024B, providing the form of the bonds and levying a tax in connection therewith.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is probably more important for you all directly. The Series A's that we just talked about, that is all being paid for out of the revenues from TID number 6. It has no planned tax impact whatsoever. This borrowing is your regular capital improvement program for the city to do streets, some park work, as well as purchase a fire truck. Excuse me. We've moved it up a little bit earlier this year than normal, just simply because we had to be in the market to do the note anticipation notes to tie in with the TID work. So rather than coming back and before you with extra fees in a month or two, we just accelerated the timing to do your capital improvement borrowing. Today, this was done through a competitive sale. We received 6 bids on your behalf. All of them came within 25 basis points, and a basis point is 0.01%, so 0.25%. They were all that close, and all of them came in significantly under what we had projected when we started the process. The low bid came in from TD Securities at a true interest cost of 3.1383%. That is more than 200 basis points or 2 full percentage points below what I told you roughly a month ago. We had projected that the interest rate would come in at 5.19%, and as I said, it came in at 3.14%, so it's a great savings all the way around. Also, it came in as a premium bid, and what that means is that the underwriter gets their compensation. Instead of it coming from you and including it in the size of the issue, they get their compensation by how they sell it to their subsequent investors. So it's in today's environment, with everybody being uncertain as to what's going to happen with the market and with interest rates and inflation, it's much easier for the underwriters to sell it to their investors with a higher coupon or interest rate than what the market would support in terms of a fee. So when the bids that you received have 4% coupons, which are higher than what the market should pay, but as a premium bid, the underwriter is giving you cash now up front in return for you letting them put higher coupons on it so they can sell it in the market. So in return for them being to put on higher coupons, interest rates, they provided the city with $244,000 worth of cash as part of their purchase. And I'll get to that into a second as to what good news that means for you. So also combining the lower interest rate and with the premium bid, the city is going to save $579,000 in net interest cost from what we had projected. So good news all the way around. So receiving that $244,000 of premium, what does good news besides saving money does that really mean for you? It means that your tax rate next year is going to be able to stay level for debt service. When I stood up in front of you a month ago, we had projected it was going to be a 7-cent increase in 2025. By applying this $244,000, it'll be able to, your debt service tax rate will be able to stay level at roughly $1.40 per $1,000 of equalized value. So you're not looking at a built-in tax increase already for debt service. A last benefit of the premium bid is that when we sized it, we had included roughly $60,000 for underwriter's discount, where you would compensate the underwriter up front. Since, as I said, they are getting compensated by how they sell it to their subsequent investors. That was $60,000 that you could have taken out of the size of the issue or apply it to projects. You're still in your bidding phases and I'm not sure what everything's going to come in. So the city's going to keep that $60,000 for street projects, the park projects, as well as in case the fire truck comes in extra, so that you are able to absorb those cost increases as part of this. So all in all, I was pleased and would recommend that you adopt the resolution awarding the $4,085,000 in general obligation corporate purpose bonds, Series 2024B, to TD Securities at a true interest cost of 3.138%. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Excellent work.
We should do this early now, every time, if this is what we're gonna get.
I mean, 3% is,
I don't
Really
know
good
how
in
you
this.
did it, but you did it. That's amazing.
yeah. So I'd entertain a motion to approve the resolution as described.
Make that motion.
By Alderperson Akers, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alderperson Driswicki. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'd entertain a motion to reconsider before I sign this.
Motion to reconsider.
Alderperson Akers, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Alderperson Kastner. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Entertain a motion to reaffirm
Motion to reaffirm.
by Kastner. Is there a second?
Second.
Driswicki. Alderperson Driswicki, would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Motion carries. Just give me 1 second. For you, okay. Moving along, Aldermanic reports.
Loomis Bridge is gone.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that too.
I don't know if it's gone, but
They're moving along quickly. There's still a lot of traffic that continues to flow north. They realize that they can't go north. I think the signage is good. We're working. I know we have a mitigation grant from the DOT where some of our officers are there, and I've seen other law enforcement types sitting there trying to get it right. I'm hoping that people learn the patterns, but that's going to be a major inconvenience until probably next October, November, right?
yeah, I was talking to Mr. Katz about the fact that there seems to be a detour sign directing traffic on 51st Street, and I don't think 51st Street can handle that amount of traffic that they're diverting.
Yeah, it's the closest quarter section, right? So,
It is,
yeah.
but yeah,
So-
it was supposed to be 60th Street.
For the folks that are trying to make up time by perhaps going quicker to follow detour routes, I would remind our constituents and visitors to the city that the Greenfield Police Department is actively aware of the detours, the desires of some to go faster to get around something that someone should have left 5 minutes earlier for. So,
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, I don't think this sign should direct people down 51st Street either, because it's not.
yeah, I mean, 60th is probably the better street, and it's probably the better street because you can get on and off
The freeway too,
But-
yeah.
So please be patient, please.
And I know there was a complaint that came over our Quick Flicks or whatever about the traffic light on Loomis being not short enough for that traffic. I think the county might need to reevaluate that now, because the traffic lights on Layton are not long enough, because there's so much traffic coming off of 27th Street, coming up Layton Avenue, and then trying to turn left onto Loomis Road there, since they can't get off the freeway that way. And there's huge backups at
This is a true statement. I was in it today.
I avoided it today because it was nasty, but I can say that Edgerton had a fair amount of traffic on it too.
So,
I'll follow up with the DOT. I know we've had that problem in the past when they've done construction over by that bridge. Same thing.
I know that they're out there monitoring to see, checking timing, because I've seen them out there. So it's not like they just closed it and left, so.
But yeah, we need to reevaluate those times.
Absolutely. Any other questions? Do we have a tree report this evening, or?
No, sir.
Yeah. Pretty soon,
There's a
Yeah.
big event
pretty
with
soon those
trees,
buds
though.
will be sprouting and we can.
I mean, they're not sprouting already. I mean, it's spring-like out there.
Speaking of trees, it's come to my attention that our city forester has, has been going through a little bit of some health issues lately, and wish him a speedy recovery. He's, without getting into it too deeply, I know he's probably very, very anxious to get back and talk about trees with Alderperson.
And did we lose a lot of trees in that winter storm?
We've lost a lot of trees in the winter, well, a lot of branches and trees in the winter storm. Some of it's neighborhood dependent, although it seemed to be all over the city.
I know it was a lot of power line trees.
There were a lot of power lines, yeah. So DPW and neighborhood services have been working with a lot of the residents. Clearly, if a tree falls on your private property, it's your concern, but we've been actively working on the right-of-ways and things that have fallen into, well, at first it was the stuff that fell into the streets, right? And then it was the right-of-ways. Taking a very pragmatic approach, I think, with people, and I received a couple compliments. I think I forwarded one or two of them to you, hopefully. That's kind of how we're doing it, right? And we're still working on it, I think, with John's. I mean, we're not in the as part of our contract with regard to
I don't want to look at branches until,
you may look at branches, we're working to get rid of the
Till Labor
branches
Day,
that are next to the
Memorial
road. So I had branches, and our neighbors had branches, and we were like, well, let's just go to Home Depot and get a chipper, and rent one. You can't rent one. They're all booked. So I think it's kind of a larger problem, with capacity to deal with it. But rest assured, I think we're working on it in an expedient manner to the extent that we can.
At the last tree commission, we did talk with Superintendent Randy Esch and Dennis R. Forrester, and they did mention that they were very ahead of schedule as far as pruning of the trees in our city rights of way, in our parks and stuff. They were ahead of schedule, and of course, this is proactive maintenance that could have been a lot worse
Absolutely.
without that kind of pruning that they have done.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of loss to city forestry that I saw. I saw a lot of
not our
stuff.
planted ones, our wild ones.
I saw a lot of stuff in the parkways, which is under the county control, and they don't really prune. They don't really take care of too much. And there were some heavily wooded areas in the city, private property, that was some pretty significant damage. So, but we're on top of. Encourage anybody that's listening. All 13 people that may be out there right now watching, to contact their alderpersons if there's a concern and forward it on to DPW. Copying me would be helpful. Just
About
as-
city right-of-way trees, right?
city right-of-way trees, right? So
So if the trees are in someone's backyard,
that's their,
that's their problem.
yeah, I mean,
Doesn't the forester, though, won't, if there's a tree that's dead or something like that?
so we're constantly going through the city with hazardous trees, and homeowners are given notices that, it's usually as a result of a neighbor saying that guy's tree is dead and it's about to fall on my house, but, yeah. So, yeah, okay. Any other things from anybody? Announcements? I don't have any at this point, other than the turf event on, what is that again?
June 15th.
June 15th.
June 15th.
Saturday.
June 15th. Mark your calendars. I think it's going to be,
Juneteenth day?
is that Juneteenth day?
I thought that was the 13th.
Juneteenth isn't the 14th, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe it's Juneteenth then. Okay, announcements, citizen commentary, I don't see any.
I don't know, someone just walked in, I don't know if he,
That guy back there?
are you,
He's a business owner in our
yeah,
city.
yeah. Did you want to comment on something tonight? About the ice things? So would that be under citizen
Oh,
commentary?
sure. If-
So
I
we
didn't know that's why he was here.
I'm thinking that's what,
Yeah, come on
Then he
up.
can-
Under citizen commentary. Did you direct him to come to citizen commentary?
no, I didn't.
Oh.
But I called him.
Yes.
I left a message, I didn't know if
It
he
was a-
received the message.
Yeah, she didn't force me. It was.
Hello?
So I thought that the ice machine issue, that it was
It's
going.
coming up.
Yes.
Are you in favor of it?
Yes, but not. I'm not too excited about fencing around the ice box, so that's why I wanted to come in to see if we can
Okay.
do an ice machine without fencing.
Okay. You own 3 properties in the city?
Yes, in City of Greenfield, yes.
Okay.
And also, I know the wording, as it has been proposed, says that you couldn't have your ice box in front of the building.
As it is right now, and
Yes, it is
yes,
in the
yes.
front, but you would have to move it, I'm assuming.
Yes, but I don't have anywhere to move it to. And it's been there ever since I purchased the site that I got notice on 27th Street, which is about 10 years ago. And the site's built in 95, and it's been there basically since 95. And 10 years, me operating it, this is the first time I've received a letter stating that it's against the rule to have that ice box where it is.
So I
Not the
think
time to
the
comment.
properties that are at issue,
Pardon me?
This is not the time for me to comment.
So, okay, thank you.
And then also before, I know
So
I
during
took a
citizen
picture
comment-
today.
So during citizen commentary, they can comment, and we're not supposed to engage in discussions or questions, but
Yeah.
on the item. that
Did
comes-
you want to say anything about your propane
Why don't you just tell them what to
storage?
say?
Storage, which is in the front of your building.
Could you repeat that? Sorry.
Your propane
Uh-huh.
storage tanks are also in the front of your building.
I have an idea, since this is going beyond citizen commentary a little bit, because usually it's usually just kind of saying, right? We can go to the item that this is, and we can invite him to engage in that discussion concerning the item that's on the table. Does that sound more sense?
That sounds right, Mike.
Okay, I'm not trying to.
No, that's great.
All right, very good. So if you want to just hang for a minute, we'll try to get you there as quickly as possible. Under I, old business, appointments to various committees and commissions. I don't have anyone for the zoning board of appeals. When we get to item I1,
Be I2AI.
oh, that's a 2. The 2 should have been over there, right? So 2,
Yeah, it's under J.
kind of, there, it looks like it's a little. This is approve an ordinance to amend section 21.04.0703 of the municipal code pertaining to detailed standards for special uses in non-residential districts. I believe this is the ice machine item.
Right.
This matter was previously on the agenda last month. It was held, I think it went to legislative and then it went to planning. In a nutshell, planning recommended shielding ice machines. Currently, ice machines being outside aren't allowed under the code technically. Planning Commission, I think, thought that having them outside is okay, but they should sort of be shielded, and that should be part of the planning process when they come forward. I understand that Alderperson Bailey was not at the last common council meeting, and Alderperson Nassarian kept the item open to not be decided because Alderperson Bailey had strong opinions about the item. There was an idea that basically it's fine to have ice machines outside. I don't know if that's a summary or not. We're here tonight with regard to changing that ordinance potentially. Right now, the ordinance says you can't have ice machines outside. You can have propane machines outside, but you can't have ice machines outside. Propane can be outside because of it's a gas issue. The idea is, do you have then an ordinance that allows ice machines to be outside, specifically ice machines? Or do you allow ice machines to be outside with the Planning Commission recommendations that they be sheltered or shielded?
Plus not be in the front of the building. I guess
So, I mean,
said
so
that was also the
Both
idea.
of those things are a part of the amended portion from planning.
front of the
Commission.
building and shielded? Okay, I apologize, I forgot about the front. In some cases, Malal, who has 3 gas stations in the city, part of this, I think, came to fruition because I think he might have reached out to Alderperson Sarian. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
And said,
also you, or-
basically, I have had this for 10 years, and now they're saying I can't have it. So we went to legislative, they said it's fine, went to planning, they said you should shield it and not have it in the front, or maybe legislative said you shouldn't have it. I'll let you guys decide all that. I'm just trying to get us to where we are at. So with that being said, this item is on the table. Does the council wish to take any action with regard to what it wants the ordinance to be? And if you do, you should make a motion.
Okay, I'll move that we adopt the ordinance, but as amended, that would include deleting after submitting a screening plan for approval to the Community Development Division.
And that would be this one.
It's this ordinance. Okay, so what we're looking at is, did they get this as part of their,
It was in the email, I printed it.
it's in the email that you got? Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on my phone.
Are you looking at it? Does
On my
everybody know what we're talking about here? This is ordinance 21.04.0703. part IJ8, and it reads, "The outdoor storage or display of merchandise shall not be permitted. Prohibited display or merchandise shall include but not be limited to vending boxes or vending machines, firewood, window washing fluid, and salt bags. Propane tanks or other flammable materials and ice storage boxes may be permitted outdoors, period." This is how you would say it. Redacted from the ordinance that was presented last month, taken out is the language I think you're referring to, after submitting a screening plan for approval of the Community Development Division. So we're adding the provision in a nutshell with regard to storage of ice storage boxes, and we're eliminating the recommended submitting a planning screen for approval to the Community Development Division. Also impacted is under, so I ordered progressive lenses and they didn't come yet, so I can't, if I struggle, it's because I can't see it. Under Part 1L9, this is the provision that says outdoor storage and display of merchandise not permitted. It essentially restates what 8 stated, and this is at gas stations. The first one was at convenience stores, I take that back. So this is at gas stations. It's exactly the same language. So your motion is to approve this language, redacting the submitting a planning screen,
Yes.
to be clear.
But I'm just reading it, and it doesn't say anything about it's not permitted in front of the building. It just,
I didn't see anything, that's why I didn't know about the front of the building
No,
part.
I don't
one of
see
the
that.
copies at some point had that in there. I
Did it?
don't know if it made it into the email or not. I do remember that,
And when I spoke to
It's
Christie a
irrelevant.
But the
couple of times.
provision, you
Yes,
don't
it-
want
it's-
in the front of the
we're
building is
removing the
not part of it, so
provision for
that's
the
where we're
moment,
at.
so
Okay.
your motion, yes. I'll second that.
Motion by Alderperson Sharian, second by Alderperson Driswicky.
Can I make an amendment to this motion?
You can make an amendment to the motion.
So as long as we're allowing rusty ice boxes out in front of gas stations, why don't we allow everything? Soda machines, firewood, water bottles,
Because,
beer coolers. That is my motion, that we allow everything.
so that's an amendment to the underlying motion.
Yes.
Does everyone agree with it? Is there a second to the amendment?
No.
So the line in the sand is ice boxes.
Yeah, but do we,
So,
this discussion originally came up because we had a request specifically about ice boxes, and I believe I've talked to this gentleman myself, explaining that because of the DNR, we really don't want firewood open and exposed. I suppose, yes, vending machines and all these other things are different. Do you want those all in front of the building? Yes or no? I know what Plan Commission has requested, and of course, you're the chair, so. are you-
Technically, Mike is.
Well, but for the time being.
Yeah.
Is it Plan Commission's request then that we're just going to allow everything aside from the ice boxes, or just the ice boxes? Is that what we're discussing right now, just so I'm clear?
to be clear, when it
I
comes.
know, this is why I want to make sure I've got.
So
this
when it
right.
comes to convenience stores and gas stations, which is what this ordinance impacts, currently prohibited, this is exactly what it says, and you can change any of the subcomponents to ice boxes and if you want. The outdoor storage or display of merchandise shall not be permitted. Prohibited display or merchandise shall include, but not be limited to, vending boxes and/or vending machines, firewood, window washing fluid, and salt bags. Propane tanks or other flammable materials and ice storage boxes, would be the only two things, may be permitted outdoors. And as the motion's created, it's without a screening plan. So the other way, with regard to your amendment, you could say, you could eliminate the entire provision and say that the outdoor storage or display of merchandise is permitted, and that's that. Without
I
any
just thought
regulation.
Is that what Plan Commission?
Oh, no,
wants?
I
Well,
just
this is
figure
why
if
I'm-
the end game is gonna be that. Because next time Pepsi comes to a gas station and says, I'm gonna give you a machine you can put out in front. They're gonna come to an older person and say, I don't have any room inside for my merchandise, so it's better off outside, so why don't we just do it now and be done with it? And have it look like what it needs to.
So on my.
That is it has nothing to do with the planning commission recommendation. That did not come from them. I don't speak for them in this regards.
So there is a motion on the table that has been seconded. There was an amendment without a second. And this is strictly to add ice boxes. And there's been some evidence, I guess, if it's evidence, that businesses have had ice boxes outside for a very long time. And there's been a renewed interest to make sure that the ordinance is followed. So I think that's what this is addressing. Maybe the minutes should reflect that the Common Council believes that any new construction of convenience stores or gas stations would have provisions to shield the ice boxes as part of their site and landscaping, and that's something that's important. But clearly for a business, is this the Shell station? The mobile station? I'm sorry, mobile. The old former Shell station.
Shell, yes.
That had the ice box.
Yes.
As a Shell station. So, yeah. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm not, there are so many bigger, from my perspective,
At the end of the day,
that
for me at least, is I want to make sure the other three that are up here are of the understanding of why we did this, and that we're not trying to just completely reduce or redact the city municipal code at the moment. We just want to deal with the ice boxes and allow that and be done. Not open the gates for everything else to just be thrown out in front of the building for any reason, for anybody.
Well, it'll take some time before that happens, but it will.
Can I ask a question? How do we determine if, I am in favor of the screening, okay? And if we say the ones that are existing will grandfather in, but how do we know that these people aren't going to come forward and say, well, I've had this here for, 20 years. Why are you making me screen it now? How do we get around that issue?
I don't know how you get around it with regard to existing places that have it.
Well, they're not following the law now. I've been speeding down Cold Spring for years. And I don't think I can use that as an excuse.
Point to a number of businesses that have ice machines in the front of their business. I can think of 4 or 5 of them that have had it for a very long time. I can think of one that has a brand new one, or relatively brand new one. Truthfully, you guys do what you want to do. I'm not sure that it matters. So when it comes to the other things that are prohibited, bags of salt, for instance, firewood, windshield washer fluid, used to be, pallets of Coke bottles, plastic Coke bottles. It used to be that I worked in 2 gas stations in high school, and the Checker station on 16th and Forest Home next to Bet American had everything outside. They had oil, they had soda, they had this, they had that, they had salt by the gas pumps. I worked at a gas station on 76 in Oklahoma. When winter came, they would put pallets of bags of salt between the pumps, and you could grab a bag of salt for $5 or $3 it was probably then.
That's what it looks like, just so you know.
I just,
Yeah.
People they're still putting salt out. They still put windshield washer fluid by the door because
Firewood,
it's
too.
convenience. There's firewood everywhere, and that's probably because there's bugs in wood, but although it's not supposed to have bugs in wood. All of that stuff, right? As long as, from my perspective, as long as things are neat and tidy, we don't need to be writing letters to people. I'm not suggesting that we don't enforce the law, but we have so many other things that are much more pressing than 2 months out of the year when there's bags of salt by the gas pumps. Or that instead of having the compressor that has the compressors in the ice machines, which they get cold on the inside because they have compressors with fans that remove the heat through coils, and that heat goes into gas stations during the summer. right? Especially in the summer when people want ice. They don't usually want ice now as much, maybe for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are your ice sales month? You don't have to tell me, I was kidding.
So you're
So I
telling
don't
me I
know,
should
I
move
don't,
my-
I think it's their ice machines. I've gotten ice out of ice machines in the front of buildings since I was 12. B&G Market, remember B&G Market on 43rd and Layton, which is now the Boot Corral? It used to be a fruit stand. They had an ice machine. And I remember driving my bike all the way from 45th and Grange to get ice out of the ice machine that was in front of B&G Food.
Stop your story here. I would be more interested.
Good story.
You're just going off, man.
I know, I'm tired.
Yeah, I know. Maybe, because I think trying to chase down whether, who had it before, who didn't, I can see that being a hassle. What about something that, they must be in good, good condition, rust-free, or, like painted or, I don't know how to word it properly, but, being,
How about adding a sentence that says, any permitted outdoor storage or displays must be kept in a clean and proper something
Condition,
that the city
yeah.
attorney can come up with, whatever, right? Must be neat, orderly, and maintained.
And I agree with that because I don't let the ice companies just put a rusty, bad-looking box at my site. So if I see a condition of an ice box deteriorating, I don't need the city to tell me it'll be me. I give them a call and tell them to swap a box for me. So that's not a problem. And I
Malal is
think-
one of the best operators in the city. He is a Greenfield High School graduate
Yes.
who has done amazing things trying to make the city a better place. He takes incredible pride in the Welk station that you've purchased, the mobile station, which was the former Shell station, and he's currently leasing to an operator for a couple of years until that
Another
lease
year,
is up.
yes.
The Amoco station on 27th and Layton,
BP.
BP, sorry. It's right there.
Yeah.
and I'm not saying he's, but I'm just saying that there
Overall.
are those rusty, ugly things out there, and I think that we should,
We can find language, the city attorney can probably come up with a sentence that says to ensure that they're well-maintained, operating, and clean, or something.
pretty.
I don't know what
We want flowers on
there's
them.
a buzzword probably for all of that. Should we add that kind of language?
I would like that because there are places that don't care what it looks like and will just throw anything out there.
I mean, the whole point is, it's almost, having done this and you've all been exposed to it, it's like if you would just keep it clean, nobody cares, right? So we have to create all these ordinances because they don't run their businesses like Malal does. That's, in essence, that would solve everything.
I take it my amendment
Most of
fails for-
most of the stuff that I have to meet with the code enforcer with on Friday, that I have to drive around the city, say, this is a problem, this is a problem, this is a problem. If people were just, right? I mean, that's really it. We create all these ordinances and it's not because 95% of us don't want, right? That's the truth.
So,
So it makes it complicated.
so
the amendment failed, right?
Did you actually make that amendment?
Do you want to make an amendment
That was
that,
a true, that was a serious, or you,
Well, it failed, obviously, because no one seconded it.
yeah, but is somebody making an amendment with regard to being clean,
Yes, I'll make
operable,
that
and
amendment.
in good working condition?
That is for the ice boxes?
Yeah,
Is that
well, for any outdoor storage, including.
Any outdoor, yeah, the
including-
propane tanks, everything,
Including
Propane
propane.
tanks, I haven't seen a nice
Well-
maintained one.
There is
Really
one in the
good.
city that's got rust on it and all sorts of stuff, and it's falling apart. I can probably
So-
I think it should be
grandfather.
for everything that we allow out there. It should, I'm not gonna pick and choose what.
Why don't
Oh,
we
my-
put it-
Or the appropriate language that the city attorney
I think it
does
should be
to.
allowed at strip malls, too. Any strip mall, I think, should be allowed to put.
Well, this ordinance only relates to gas stations and convenience stores.
I think it should be allowed at
If you
strip
want to go
malls.
through the other, however many letters there are for each and every type of business that's out there, you can add that as a friendly amendment.
But that's not my
But if you would
amendment.
tell me what those are, that would be helpful, because I don't know what
I
that
can look into it.
That's not my amendment.
Either that or you could just build a building big enough to store your merchandise.
I don't know, maybe.
I wish I had that option when, because I inherited all these buildings. I didn't build them, so I bought them, and I have my limitations with the buildings.
Okay.
Do you have CBD at all the locations?
CBD, no.
Paraphernalia of any kind?
No,
Actually,
Mike,
limited all the alcohol in his gas stations too, just so you know. Right?
They do, but I don't have them at
Right,
my
I'm-
site on Bucks. But I stay away. Mike knows I don't have hookahs. I don't have all this other CBD, all this other craziness. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. I feel that me as a business owner, I have kids, and I wouldn't want to put something in my store that I don't want my kids to use or see. So I have those values, and I don't want that at my sites.
So as a gas station or operator, you would be in favor of limiting the CBD oils?
Yes.
Only to the places that have licenses to sell CBD, not as a gas station?
Of
Yes.
course, we're straying a
Well,
little bit
straying,
from
but-
Can I
ice
ask if somebody
boxes.
will
boxes.
second my,
Things that are being
will
Yes,
somebody,
I'm going to do that right now. So
Okay.
for Pam's particular amendment to have the city attorney review and give us additional
To give
language.
you a sentence to make
Yes.
sure it's clean and operable and looks good, and it's not a rusty
Appropriate
ice box, which deals with Alderperson Kastner's
For
concern, I think.
appropriate language, I will second that amendment.
Okay,
Okay.
so this is on the amendment,
We have first the motion
right?
for this ordinance, and then we have the amendment.
So now we vote on the amendment, which is that have the city attorney draft a sentence that makes sure that the council's concerns with regard to
appearance.
rusty, dirty, and operative outside permitted vending fixtures are not that, right?
That's completely understandable, and I don't think that's a problem because the
it's-
ice companies, we can have them come every year if they need to rewrap it, if there's any rust, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Why don't people then?
They're lazy, I guess. They don't care about stuff. I have ice machines that are not owned by me, but I still have my employees clean them when they get dirty. I once had a business owner who happened to be driving past my site, and he saw my employee cleaning the ice machine. He called me and told me, "It's not your machine. Why are you cleaning it?" Well, it's at my site. It's representing my site. So I agree there are those kind of business owners out there who, don't care about stuff like that, but I do. So whatever I have at my site, I try to make sure they're nice, clean, and nice looking, so presentable condition to the customers.
Okay, motion, so on the amendment, you understand that amendment? Okay, so this is to vote on the amendment, this is the amendment, not the underlying motion. This is to amend the underlying motion. Made by Akers and seconded by Drzewiecki. Would you please call on the amendment?
Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
No.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Okay, so the amendment is as it was originally, removing the part, allowing ice boxes, removing the part requiring shielding, and if there was one that was in front of the store, I didn't see it, but also asking the city attorney to include language to make sure that they're clean, operable, and that stuff. And there's probably some legal buzzword package for that, right? So this is that motion. Could you call
On the
that
first
one?
motion. Alderperson Juzwicki.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
No.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Okay. Good? All right. Item J1 was a letter of resignation received from Jerry Wilkowski on the Board of Review. Jerry's been on the Board of Review forever.
For like 15
I don't,
years.
15, was it? He's retiring. If we could get a certificate and a letter out to him, that
How
would
many
be,
years did you say?
huh?
How many?
15 at least.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jerry, if you're out there, thank you for all of your
Yeah.
help, for the time I spent
His
with
wife
you.
has been on the Board of Health for,
Yeah, his wife has been on the Board of Health for, I think, just as long, or
If not
longer,
longer.
maybe. Yeah.
Are we gonna send him a certificate of appreciation?
Yes, we will be, for sure. Under item J2, little a, I, one member to the Board of Review for a term to expire 5/1/2028. This is to replace that position. It would have an expiration of May of '28. I would appoint Amanda O'Day, who lives in Greenfield on West Waterford Avenue. I would think it's 118th and Waterford-ish. Is that Bailey or is that Cashner?
What, and 92nd?
118th.
That'd be me.
118th. Or 11856 West Waterford,
Okay.
right?
Definitely me.
Okay. Is a real estate broker by trade, and is excited to join, so I would make that appointment subject to confirmation. I would appoint Amanda O'Day into that position to fill Mr. Wachowski. I can't never pronounce his name right.
Wilhowski.
Wilhowski's.
I'll make the motion to confirm.
Motion by Alderperson Akers, or second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Castner. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We don't need anybody else now for that one.
We're good.
We are full. We still need somebody for the Zoning Board of Appeals, which is good.
Hey, we got you one there.
Huh?
I helped you get one there.
On Zoning Board of Appeals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your mom should do it,
Yeah, right.
or
No.
your wife, or,
Oh, no.
okay. All right, somebody needs to do it. Tim? Okay. J, new business, a letter, we already got that. J3.
Yep.
Right, J3. Someone's complaint and claim of relief for excessive assessment received from Hanson Reynolds LLC on behalf of James L. Callan, Inc., 4909 West Edgerton. This has been provided to our, to
Attorney Seibel.
Attorney Seibel, who handles those claims for us.
Surprise, surprise, the next one.
Oh, item 4, this is something new. Claim for excessive assessment received from Walmart Real Estate Business Trust on behalf of Mallory SC. This has also been provided to Attorney Seibel for review.
You know, the ironic thing about that, I literally got that's a word that shouldn't be used. I got a phone call today from a business owner complaining that the property value went down. So I can't imagine this one being too high.
Yeah, I don't know what they said in the complaint. It's probably there. I think they think that the building's worth 6 or 7 million. I think that's what they're claiming. Something like that.
Crazy.
I've received calls, so as part of the citywide reassessment, yes, residential values went up, and commercial and office and medical and retail didn't go up as high. A number of the businesses in the community noticed their taxes went down because of that. And so that's, again, getting to the shift in the valuations among everybody, so. But Walmart, boy, the number of calls for service there, I think never mind.
Could pay their share.
I do like their manager there a lot. I appreciate him. He's tried to take a very active role in the community.
He did repaint the mural.
He did repaint the mural in their lobby that said Hales Corners, which was nice. I appreciated that.
Do they never mind.
And I know that he wasn't the one from the Real Estate Business Trust that claims that their $20 million building is worth 6 or 7 or whatever it is.
I still shop there.
I don't. like to shop at places that support the community. No, I mean, so each one of these claims by them
I know, but
is
you
like
just
10 or
got
20
done-
grand. Every one of these claims is 10 or 20 grand or 30 grand.
But it just, you just.
So they just, it's like you're the biggest corporation on earth, right? You're the biggest, one of the biggest corporations on earth. And you're extremely profitable here and your sales are extremely high. And you've probably cannibalized a number of other businesses along the way because they can't compete with you. And all those other businesses used to pay property taxes, but now they're out of business. And the value of commercial property is declining because there aren't those businesses filling that space because this monolith, right? And every year, they do this. And I think that's just wrong. They have the legal right to do it, and I appreciate that they're exercising their legal rights. I do. But,
And we're mentioned in this complaint. It says common counsel, you know,
yeah, I mean, you're the ones
when
that.
I read it. And,
Yeah, you.
and
You
we
evil
shouldn't be
people,
laughing
you're
about
levying tax dollars, you're levying tax dollars to provide public services within the community, including fire and police protection at their business.
Is there a way that we could draft an ordinance that if a business?
Restricts how long the police officer's there, so he's not there 24/7. They can
that-
secure their own building.
After so many numbers, there's a bill set, after so many
No,
calls for
you
service?
can't really do that. We could probably create some kind of ordinance or something. What I always wanted to do, and I'm not saying that I would want to do it necessarily in this situation, but if they're claiming, and they have an appraiser who under oath is claiming that it's worth 6 million, I think we should offer them 7 and just buy it. Condemn it. That's the valuation that they say it is. It's like, okay, I'll give you $1 million more. I'll give you $1 million more. It's worth that. I'm just saying. Anyways, this was submitted to the city attorney, right? Or the
We can
attorney
always find
Seibel
a
to
auto dealer
deal.
that would buy it.
I think somebody would buy it. And I think if we owned it, we couldn't put a covenant on the property that restricted its use from anything that could possibly compete with it, like they did on their old store. And I love the Ridge Church and I love the Salvation Army because they do wonderful things for
Not
people,
Salvation
but it's
Army.
not taxable
It's
and
not
that is some of the best
Salvation
property we have.
Army.
Huh?
It's not the Salvation Army.
St. Vincent de Paul, didn't I say that?
Yeah, and you did
Did I say
now.
Salvation Army? I'm sorry, I
And it's
apologize.
Planet Fitness too.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty soon I'm gonna start singing, sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat. Do you guys know that? Guys and dolls, right?
Yeah,
Hey, what's item 5?
I was in Guys and Dolls.
Cool.
Are you trying to
Sit
push
down,
them
sit down,
along?
sit down. Now I'm gonna sing my item. Okay, so that's going to the city attorney. Claim receipt, 5, claim received from Arthur Marasco.
Refer to the city attorney.
6, claim received from Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company on behalf of Crystal Bourget.
Also referred to the city attorney.
Can I
Under
ask a
item
question about
7,
that one?
resolution disallowing,
Can I ask a question about that one?
Mm-hmm.
Was it just because wasn't it like her and some other vehicle that had the accident? Why are we being involved in it?
that's a good question, which is why item number 7 is a resolution disallowing the subrogation claim of Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance and that claimant.
Yeah, because it was like between 2 different people.
So
and-
I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution disallowing that claim.
I'll make that motion.
Alderperson Akers, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Alderperson Castro, could you call?
Alderperson Joswiecki.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Item 8, resolution allowing the claim of DeVoe Rentals LLC relating to property damage to the building located at 4342 and 4346 South 27th Street. Entertain a motion to approve this resolution
Do you want the dollar amount?
in the amount of $498.29,
Motion approved.
not to exceed $494.92.
Yes.
Motion by Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Driswicky, would you please call?
Alderperson Joswiecki.
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner.
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Item 9 is a resolution allowing the claim of Paul A. Perez relating to a wallet lost from a traffic stop, and this is an amount not to exceed $125.
Motion to
by Alderperson Akers.
Allow,
Is there a
yes.
second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sarian. Would you please call?
Alderperson Juzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey.
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Item 10 is approve applications for 23, 24. These are the operator licenses, subject to all the disclaiming language. I'd entertain a motion to approve
Motion to approve.
by Alderperson Akers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Drzewiecki. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, 12, 13, and 14 are for temporary Class B retail licenses received from the Harley's Owners Group for indoor events at the House of Harley-Davidson on February 17th, 24th, March 2nd, and March 9th. Entertain a motion to approve 11 through 14.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Alderperson Drzewiecki. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Sarian. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. From Mr. Katz, item 15, approve a contract for project 2006, number 1, the Turf Skate Park with Grind Line Skate Parks in the amount of $1,640,300. You have, and Jeff can go through any of this if you need to. We have the pictures for.
I can put the picture on the screen, or on this screen.
I think he has to, he'll do it.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
I think I saw, but where's the funds coming from?
You can go through the. So this is the first. This is the project, okay? Just so you understand. So the ultimate project would look like, if you want to go through this better than I can, Jeff, the ultimate project is going to look like this. This portion relates to the restored bowls and the street course that you see on the bottom triangle. Is that right?
Yeah, so
And a
the
temporary
project, this item 15 is for the skate park, which is at the bottom of the screen is the, can I point to it? Oh, I can kind of point to it. The skate park street course down here and the restored original bowls of the turf. I'm going to click on another picture here. So this is the rendering we have of that street course, and the restored bowls would be off to the right-hand side, right off to the right-hand side. There's no building. It's going to be the outdoor street course and this as shown, and then the restored bowls.
Can I ask a question? Just because it says on this one, it's got the future park and ride lot, is that going to be the permanent park and ride there? Or,
Yeah, so in order to build the park, we're going to have a temporary parking lot. There's an existing parking lot there now, but ultimately, the developer for that whole side of the freeway, one of the things in the agreement with the developer is that they need to build a park and ride lot, and they need to build a street. That's that's part of the development that Cobalt is doing.
are we going to also do anything about traffic there? Are we going to get lights put up there in Loomis? Because,
So as a part of the road project we're all experiencing right now, the bridge project, this entire area here is the DOT, the Department of Transportation is rebuilding all this as a part of the thing. They're going to put a right turn lane here as a part of their project. They're going to make this intersection different, so you can make left turns in to this site, and you can make left turns onto 43rd, but you can't cross. So they're going to make it safer in terms of traffic.
kind of like what they did farther, 35th and Loomis?
A little bit, yeah. Not quite as restrictive as that. And then they're also going to be putting in sidewalks. They're going to be putting in crosswalks here. So the DOT is making some significant improvements because when they use their federal money, they have to do things to a certain standard, and although
Better
we'll benefit from all that, fortunately.
And are there gonna be sidewalks on both sides of Loomis there?
Yes,
Which is good.
and crosswalks. And then that new coffee shop that's going in where the George Webb used to be, that'll all be connected with crosswalks.
So there's a couple questions you asked with regard to the road itself. That is, as part of the developer's agreement with Cobalt, that road may be a cul-de-sac or it may be a ring road that goes through the entire site. It will, however, be at least what you see where the yellow property lines are. It depends on how the site is ultimately going to be developed. With regard to the park and ride lot, currently there's about 300 stalls, I think 340 stalls in the existing park and ride lot. As part of our purchase agreement with the DOT, or from the state of Wisconsin, there was a requirement that there be 150 stalls built as part of our purchase agreement. We've been negotiating with the DOT to reduce that number to be between 30 and 50. This has got 70. It may require 100, but the requirement to build this falls on the developer as part of their agreement. Until that development is figured out, that road won't be going in like you see it, and that parking lot won't be going in like you see it. What you would see is essentially a parking lot where the temporary parking lot is indicated in the shaded area.
And most of that's there now. That's the old parking lot from the Victory Tool business that used to be there.
So
It just, though, the other question, I guess, in this is this then gonna be the only parking lot that's gonna serve both the park and ride and the turf?
Yes, and the street parking.
Okay.
It's the only one that will serve the park and ride and the turf. The park and ride, on average, has 7 to 12 cars a day now. The park and ride will be our lot as well, which will be municipally controlled
Maintained.
and by ordinance. And at some point, I've been working with Chris with regard to changing the ordinances to not allow overnight occupied parking. Some other places are having struggles with that because either the state or the county owns it. When this park and ride lot goes in, there won't be the ability to do that by ordinance, I'm hoping. The second thing that's kind of important is all MCTS transit freeway flyer service has been terminated from the park and ride. So in our contract, we had this language with regard to State Fair and Summerfest. And during this, when Summerfest was in its prime before COVID, that lot was full, all 350, 400 cars, right?
Yeah,
And
that's
not
what I was gonna
enforced by the
ask.
sheriff's department, it was enforced by us. But all of those activities have ceased and they're not coming back.
Okay.
So when it comes to the parking, well, what's going to happen when Summerfest happens? That parking isn't going to be coming from here.
Okay, that was my next question.
The bus
was-
service, the
yeah.
freeway flyer bus service isn't coming from here.
Okay.
So the idea is to size the parking lot to adequately park the turf is in essence what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if there's nothing going on there, why
So this-
wouldn't we use it? But
Yeah, this park and ride lot too has the advantage of being right next to the road, where the old park and ride lot was kind of hidden behind stuff. So it's a better location, we think, because it can be kept an eye on.
Yes.
There was also a provision from the DOT with regard to an accident reconstruction provision. It sounds like they're removing that.
Yeah, they're removing that too.
Accident investigation, I don't know what they call it. So they're removing that as well.
So we're basically have to do a lot for them, but they're not gonna use it.
So there's another drawing to show what a phase 2 of the turf might look like, I think. I don't know.
Did they ever?
So and we haven't answered Carl's question yet, so we haven't forgot your question. So when you see the bigger, the remaining portion of the turf, that would be phase 2. And that's as funding becomes available. Something that has been taken away from this project is the building, right? And that's sad for me, right? But the building was upwards of 4 million, probably or more million now.
It still fits, but it's not likely to
So
happen.
the way that the plan is drawn and the way that the site is laid out, in the event that the money ever became available for the building, it can still be created around the bowls. But at this point, it
Come on,
wouldn't be.
Jeff's really good at getting grants.
We've been trying, so, I mean, there's a lot of serious interest in this site. And just with this turf stuff that I talked a little bit about the event in June, what is it, June 15th?
June 15th.
Is that Juneteenth Day?
It could be.
Just being facetious,
To the-
but kicking it off and getting it going and actually putting shovels in the ground is a good thing and will only, I think, make this work better. I talked to you guys before about the Allison Dudek thing, right? It's like, well, we'll just put some money in there and then it's like 5 years later and nothing happens and they never got the rest of the money.
It's the 19th.
The 19th?
That'd be a Monday, probably.
It's on the 15th, that's a Saturday.
No, Juneteenth
Oh,
is. the
sorry.
19th.
What is it, June what? June 19th.
Yeah,
19th.
June 19th is.
Oh,
Jeez, Jeff. Sorry. That was 2022.
You know, if we get this started and, we get some interest in it, we might get some people that are willing to put up a building for us.
I think, so I think that I cannot overstate this or understate it. I'm not sure how to say that. Just with the music thing, with the guy that's from Milwaukee, and I don't want to mention his name right now and all that other stuff. There's a time and a place for all of that. Just with the sheer amount of legwork and contacts and who knows who and the desires that are out there in the community at large, this is going to be something special. You might have heard, and Jeff and I talked a little bit, in the city of Milwaukee, they're talking about, as part of one of their TIF districts, I don't know if you saw this in the paper, about $1 million towards a skateboard park, and it's not really been designed but we looked at the site today. It's on a busy corner next to the freeway with no parking. And it's basically, it looks like a lot from an old house or something maybe. So the kind of value and the kind of commitment and the kind of energy that we're getting, really trumps that kind of, I shouldn't use that word, really, these days.
The whole project's been organic.
It's been organic and it's been real, which is really what's cool about it. They're really, the older I get, the more I watch people trying to build dreams, and maybe that's me sometimes too, right? But the organic nature of will this work and
I'm
is
getting
it, orgasmic, yeah. So this is orgasmic actually for us. But so that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the restored bowls, the street course, the temporary parking lot, the paths. There's some hazardous materials, I don't want to call them lightweight hazard environmental stuff that will be removed from the site to clean the site. But that's what we're looking for. When it comes to the dollars, did you have the funding broken out?
I don't have it split out on a graphic, but it consists of a number of different things. Park impact fees from a lot of the development that we've had in the last few years. Cell tower revenue, we spent over a year negotiating that cell tower lease, 25-year lease. And billboard revenue, we still get revenue off the billboard that's on the turf site. There is the turf capital account that carries a balance from a few years ago. There is quite a bit of storm sewer involved in this site, and some project savings for some of the infrastructure work. and donations. We have some donations now, and we have people that are talking to us about donations potentially in the future.
You've talked about with finance, and you feel comfortable with the funding?
Yep.
Non-taxed,
Huh?
non-taxed.
It's not levy dollars? This isn't, so when Joe was here and he was talking about, well, your levy rate for next year is gonna be, level, right? It's like, there's no levy dollars going into this.
For debt.
No.
And I'm assuming if we award these contracts, that construction will start this year?
Construction would start in about 2 months.
How long do
How
they
they gonna
think?
get there?
From the other
51st
side.
Yeah, they can only come from one side now. Yeah, and it would be two contractors. One is doing the site work and one is doing the bowls.
So is it gonna be done before the freeway or?
It will be done, we're projecting by the Labor Day.
Before the freeway's done, so no one can get to it.
Well, at this point, we don't want anybody to get to it anyways,
Well, no, I
right?
meant when it's done.
Yeah. There's a couple other things that there's fencing around it, probably an 8-foot chain link fence around it so people can't do things that they shouldn't be doing, which would be part of the project. That's
Is there
incredibly
gonna be
important.
security cameras involved here?
So we've also talked internally about, we have our fiber network through the city and seeing if we can get the fiber there. It sounds like we can get it down Botsford. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it
There's
needs
still
to,
extra dollars that we have to figure out the fiber, but the goal would be to have our fiber get there, to have it surveilled, not because we're trying to spy on people, but at nights and.
There's deep bowls there, right?
Security.
And security, and we're also looking at if it could be a Wi-Fi hotspot or something for folks that are there. So the investment, the multi-million-dollar investment that the city and the school districts made in the fiber system, when we do projects like this, it really saves us money. Because if we had to run fiber here without our system, it would probably be $500,000 million
Why didn't
bucks.
we make Conkle Park a hotspot?
I think we're trying to do that, aren't we?
I don't know. You had to run it by it if you're going to the schools.
So every time we do it, it costs, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying, it went right
that's
by
the thing.
park.
I mean, I think we have fiber in Conkle Park now, right? And the question is, can we get fiber in Conkle Park from the north end through the Honey Creek to the south end so we can put cameras in? And can we put fiber from the north end to the southwest shelter, right? Can we get fiber to Kowicki Park? We can't. We have to, right? Because it's too expensive. But when the opportunities come along, we want to get the fiber wherever we can. And this, I was thinking that with the bridge coming out, trying to get fiber across the interstate system is no small task. Can you just put a conduit up there for us, people? It's not that simple. But the good news is that we don't have to do that. We can come down Botsford, it sounds like, because we connected 43rd Street to get to El Verno. So 43rd and
So what are you
Botsford.
looking for tonight?
So there's two things. The first thing is the contract, which is with Grindline, which is the construction of the bowls, all the concrete work and all that stuff. The second part under 16 is the excavating. There's a significant amount of site excavating that's going to be done on the site. Jeff, did you want to?
yes, that's excavation, that's storm sewer work, that's some landscaping, basically prepare that site. And a little bit of patching on that existing parking lot that we're going to adopt temporarily.
Yeah, so the concern was that we didn't want to invest too much money into the parking lot, right? Because it's ultimately going to be a street. We certainly have to make it flat and level and connected, right? It isn't as I had hoped with regard to, let's just make this the biggest skateboard park in the Midwest all at once. But the jigsaw puzzle pieces are in place to to keep it moving forward. Even if we do nothing else in the future except for these two features, it is one of the best skateboard parks around. If we could add the other phase two, future phase two, it would
Just put
be.
a, fundraiser or GoFundMe sign out there with the picture of what we want.
So we've been talking internally about all sorts of things to raise revenue. The event in June, I can't underestimate how excited people are to be part of it, from all over. There's one beverage company, I don't want to get into any of that stuff yet, but I think having a project that is approved, that's moving forward, that people know that when they put their money towards it, it's actually going towards it, matters a lot.
Can I make a motion?
You could.
Can I make a motion to approve the contract for project 2006-1, the turf skate park with Gridline Skate Parks in the amount of $1,640,300?
Motion by Alderperson Akers, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Druzicki, would you please call?
Alderperson Druzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Item 16 is approve a contract for project 2006, number 2, for the turf scape site work with Wilcom excavating the amount of $509,394.67. Entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Druzwicki, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Castro, would you please call?
Alderperson Druzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Awesome. So Jeff has been posting stuff for the skateboard, for the turf on Instagram and some of the other things, and how many hits did you have since your thing?
People are very excited. If I post something on the turf on Instagram, within 30 minutes, 100 people have responded to it.
We're not to 1 million yet?
I don't know.
No.
Followers?
Yeah, so as part of the radio, the music thing on June 19th, not the 15th.
No, it's the
No, no,
15th.
it is the 15th.
I thought it
You're
was the
talking about-
19th.
No.
What are you guys doing to me here?
No.
Okay.
You misunderstood.
Pay attention, keep up.
June 19th is June.
I'm sorry, Tim, I misunderstood.
Gosh.
But there's going to be 8 to 10 local bands, the best local bands, that want to be part of this. I mean, they want to be there, which is really cool. I mean, it's probably not going to be like Almighty Vinyl or
I
Cherry
don't-
Pie, but
I think the senior citizens are gonna come to these.
what's really kind of weird though is the folks that are 50s, 60s, 40s, 50s, 60s were the ones that were at the turf, and some of the 50s and 60-year-old guys are the most excited about bringing this legacy forward to younger people.
I, at that
thought you were gonna
age,
say
don't
breaking a
see that
bone.
senior.
Well, you're not as old as, I'm the oldest one up. No, Jeff, are you old? How old are you?
What's that?
Never mind.
I-
I'm the oldest one up here. No, Bruce is,
We're about the same.
by far, right?
No, Bruce and I are tied.
I think
Are you
Shirley
tied?
might be.
No, you're not nearly as old as Bruce.
I'm 70
Are you?
and proud of it.
I'd be proud to make it that long. I never thought I was going to make it to 60. So I mean, all right. So motions have been made and seconded. 17, discussion decision with regard to the radio system service agreement between Baycom and the City of Greenfield Emergency Services. I'd entertain a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve.
By Alderperson Kastner, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Akers. Would you please call?
Alderperson Druzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. I'd like to take 18 and 19 together, which is the mileage and schedules of disbursements, and entertain a motion to approve 18 and 19.
I move for approval.
Alderperson Sarian, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderperson Cassidy, would you please call?
Alderperson Druzwicki,
Aye.
Alderperson Bailey,
Aye.
Alderperson Kastner,
Aye.
Alderperson Akers.
Aye.
Alderperson Sarian.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Items for future agenda, I'm not sure what's happening. I don't think there's too much coming up.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Alderperson Kastner at 8:30 on the dot.
Second.
Second by Alderperson Akers. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all very much.